Hello, everybody. Welcome to Blast Away the Game Review. I'm your host, Dustin Murphy. As you can see, I've decided to do a vlog type deal for you all, kind of to give you an idea of what's going on. So, in this one, to get things started, we're going to briefly talk about QuakeCon, not the whole event, but we're going to talk about specific pieces regards to things we haven't discussed in our articles that are on the website. We're going to discuss the BYSC real quick, the showroom floor, games such as Dusk and Medieval. We're also going to talk about Warframe content. So this isn't just QuakeCon related, and I'm going to kind of explain why we're doing this first. The importance behind this series isn't just to get the ball rolling with constant content. It is more so to keep an open line of communication with the viewers, because a lot of you have been wondering what's going on. Where's Warframe? Where's this? Where's that? So this is going to help keep the record straight from now on. So this week, I'm preparing for Lexicon 2018 in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where I'll be a panelist showing off some of this year and next year's upcoming games. So this week is slowing down a little bit. We're still going to do beer and a game on Friday. We're still going to do beer and a game on Saturday. We're going to do the Sober Sunday. We're going to do the Monday Madness. So Monday Madness is still a thing. We're going to still do our 2 for Tuesday, where I'll do 2 streams on Tuesdays. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm no longer streaming. That's shut down. That is, I'm going to focus on some me time, get some articles out, do some content coordination with the writers at Blast Away the Game Review. So, kind of important job for the editor-in-chief. Just to keep things going. And it will give me time to work on these Warframe guides that you've been asking for. I mean, I'm behind. There's no rhyme, no reason. Yes, I was at QuakeCon. Yes, I've been streaming. I should still find time for that. So, Wednesday and Thursday, no more streams. I had to do this for myself. I had to do it for you all. So it is a thing. And if I stream, it's going to be spontaneous. It might be on Twitch. It might be on YouTube. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for. Content is going to slow down a little bit here and there. I'm not saying reviews aren't going to happen. We're going to reestablish a lot more focus on our written content. Our website is really important to us. Our YouTube is really important to us. But I'm only one man doing the YouTube and editing the website. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. That's just how it goes. My reviewers are doing a great job. They're great women and gentlemen. They're doing everything they can. So a huge shout out to Tybon, Beth, Greg, Dave, Jeremy. Thank you so much for your constant support. On the note of Warframe Con, before we start talking about BYSC, QuakeCon games and explosions and demon invasions, that kind of stuff. Christopher D has unfortunately been on the back burner. Not because he's not doing great. He's doing great as far as content goes. His health is a big concern for us here at Blast Away the Game Review, which is why Warframe has slowed down a little bit. It's not that we don't love Warframe. Douglas Perry, Megan, all of you at DE, thank you so much for still believing in us and still working with us. I do apologize that we have slowed down. But for all of you, even the community, one of our guys has fallen sick. It's not something that the doctors will cure tomorrow. It's not something they will cure in a week, a month, a year, 2 years. Unfortunately, the condition he has, you live with it. It is deteriorative. So, gaming the way he used to is absolutely not a thing he can do. It breaks my heart to even say that because he's one of my good friends. Let alone as a content creator, he's kind of the guy that goes, do this, do this. So, not having that here really does hurt us here at Backer. But, we are refocusing. We're not doing so much Fortnite anymore because you have several other million people already doing this. So it is a thing. Another thing, streaming. A lot of you are going streaming. So, long story short is we finally figured out why our overlay wasn't work, why you couldn't donate to the channel, all that fun stuff. And it was because I was using the wrong version of OBS. I wasn't using Streamlabs. I was just using straight up OBS 22.01 or whatever it's called. So the software has changed. I can now control it through a phone, a tablet, a switchboard if I went down to the local store and bought one. So it is there. Next thing I need to mention, we may be putting affiliate links on the website really here soon. And even in our YouTube, you may see a trailer roll. So don't feel disgruntled or discouraged if you see links and information and partnerships showing up. It's just something to help us financially keep going moving forward, because we can't sit here and go, please donate to our page, go to our Patreon and subscribe to Patreon. I can't do that to you. It's just not something we've ever done or ever asked for. We have done that before. We've had donations come in, we've had people donate a game, we've had developers find us because of this channel. So it's not to say that things aren't going to be going forward the way they should. Now, with that being said, let's get on to the big topic at hand, which is QuakeCon 2018. So since this is kind of a vlog slash podcast or whatever you want to call it, QuakeCon is a thing for this. And I want to talk about something that wasn't written about yet. We don't have it up on our website, so you're going to get kind of a preview ahead of the website, which is the BYOC. To start things out, the BYOC was really cool. We had an absolute blast at QuakeCon. My dad, unfortunately, he was tired the whole time. He wasn't used to this. This is a one-time a deal year for us. But luckily, I may be at TwitchCon. He's going to get to rest here at home. So if you see me at TwitchCon, if I'm there, wave. I will be press if I get cleared to go through. So the BYOC was where we could let our metaphorical hair down, take off our press badges, sit them at our computer, and just relax. So at the BYOC, I decided to take this little G53S something another 560M video card, NVIDIA GTX 560M, 2GB with a 2.2 gigahertz processor. So I'm sitting here going, I have the crappiest computer in here. Then I look over and realize I'm the only press in this press row. So eventually my buddy Greg Rumasal, who is press, ends up joining me. He's a photojournalist. So I have him here, and it's just fun. Like, great, I'm not alone. Ran into some other amazing press members. Even the BYOC attendees were absolutely fascinating. I left my Ethernet cables from my computer here at home on accident. I didn't realize I had a 50-footer, so, hey, Dad, we didn't need to go to Crimp Nation and get the free Ethernet cables as loaners, so we have them. But all jokes aside, that was kind of a inside joke between us. The BYOC was really fun. It was massive this year. I'm talking, I've never seen a LAN party this big. We're talking thousands, not hundreds, not several hundreds. We're talking probably close to 4,000-5,000 attendees in the BYOC at one time. So we're talking rows and rows and rows of men, women, boys, girls, husbands, wives, whatever you want to say, gaming. They didn't care about what you were playing. They just, hey, what game are you playing? It didn't matter about your console even. They were celebrating games. They were celebrating community. And it was kind of interesting to see the whole mindset of console peasants, PC master racers, console masters versus PC peasants. It didn't exist, there was people even just playing on their damn tablets. It was just a thing. People weren't always using monitors. They were just walking around. They were just using projectors. Some people, hey, you have a Nintendo Switch? I have a dock. Go ahead and dock it. Let's play a game. So there was people playing Splatoon 2, stuff like that on there. Even Pokken Tournament. I saw it more than once. There's people playing Smash Bros. On GameCube. So it was just a celebration of everything games. And, so we get set up. This whole sidebar put aside, we finally get set up, 10, 15 minutes to get everything hooked up, make sure the GPU was working, because we had an idiot moment where we are plugging in to the Intel card and not the GTX 1060 6GB we're using. So after we get hooked up, after Jeremy gives us a whole lot of crap, which we deserved, we get the ball rolling, finally get powered up. First thing we learn, We didn't have speakers. We didn't have headsets. They were still at the hotel room. So we had to go from the Gaylord Texan Hotel and Resort, where QuakeCon was hosted, walk this almost half mile or whatever it was to exit the room, to call the shuttle, to go to our hotel, run upstairs, go back down the road. It's not a very far drive. And then we were finally what felt like at home. We had our headset, we had our mouse, we had keyboards. But the most interesting thing is we decided to leave the computers there. So we're leaving my little crappy Asus ROG laptop. It's years old. The newest game I was able to play, and this is at medium settings, was Deus Ex Human Revolution. So I didn't do a lot of gaming on mine. I just decided, screw it, I'm just going to download ZDoom, mod all of them, replace DOSBox with it, and that was it for me. So I packed up my bag in a couple days and took it back to the hotel. I couldn't type on it or anything because it's got a crappy keyboard. So I didn't mind leaving my stuff there. I left this $100 at the time of its release LG mouse at the deal. So I left my Logitech there, not LG. So I even left my phone charger there the entire weekend, and nobody messed with it. They didn't care. They don't mess with stuff that's not theirs. So it was really comforting to see, even leaving these $2,000 computers there. Mine was $2,000 when it launched, but now it's probably like $100. But points not there. People respected each other's stuff. If somebody's hard drive went out, somebody had a backup hard drive for them. It was just real interesting to see these people come together. These multi-generational gamers go, hey, I can fix that. Just come to my computer, give me a second, give me your one that broke, I'll replace it. So, I saw people even getting video cards because their video card went out. It may not have been as great as the one they had, but it was enough to get them through the event and then give it back and then go home and get it replaced. So that was a thing. And it was really cool to see that these men and women, boys and girls, came together as a community and helped one another out. If somebody needed soda, somebody would. If somebody was ordering food, they'd be like, hey, I got money. Could you just do Uber food and just have it brought over? So Uber Eats. And so that was the big thing. The community came together, and the food trucks that were there were absolutely outstanding. So Bethesda had a lot going on with the BYOC. They had drinks. They had everything set up this year. It was just something completely different than what we experienced just walking through the years before. It's something I'll definitely be doing again because I wasn't the guy who's writing about games, reviewing them. I wasn't the one who was covering the show. To them, I was just one of them. They didn't care if I tried out in some of the tournaments or not and tried to win prizes. So being a part of the community and just seeing what the community does was a whole different transformative experience. It's something that I will be doing in the future, and I want to thank all of them for letting me be a part of that magnificence. It was... I don't know how to explain it. It was just awesome being one of them, not this guy with a press badge, So I will be definitely doing the future. A huge shout out for Bethesda inviting us along. We had an absolute blast. So Fallout 76 was there. I haven't written just a whole lots about it because there's not a whole lot to write about it. I mean, what you've read on our sites, what to read. Interviews have been conducted through other outlets. We unfortunately didn't get to interview, but the 76 panel was really awesome. I'm not going to recap it. Everybody knows what to experience. The perks, the traits, and everything that are returning. The gameplay looks outstanding. It looks like it's going to be a glorified Fallout Battle Royale with optional PvP. So it is a thing. There are going to be quests. It's going to be on all the current gen platforms except for the Switch. So you have a lot to look forward to, and it was just astounding to see that. But, the community was a big part, too, of it. They had an autograph session with Todd Howard, Jeff Gardner, Chris Meyer. A lot of you may not recognize all the names except for Todd Howard. Chris Meyer was formerly Ultima Online, which is, to a lot of people who played MMOs back in the 90s, he was the godfather of MMOs. So, after the signing, I get my stuff signed, my Vault-Tec back. I get my Vault Boy mask autographed. So I have all their autographs on these 2 items. And as I'm leaving, I decide to, hey, can I get your photos? So I get a photo with all of them. You know, Todd Howard on his own, Jeff Gardner and Chris Mayer on the side. So, they're kind of blurry, but that's what happens with Samsung cameras. But I have the camera. I have the picture. I have all of it. So as mine wraps up, because, they have very limited time, Todd Howard's got interviews. He's got a plane flight. He's got to get back to the studio, that kind of stuff. I decided to ask Jeff Gardner, hey, those coffee cups are really cool. I complimented him at first, and it came out, hey, do you mind if I have one of them? It's, just one of those, hey, if I can, I can't. I'm a huge Fallout fan. I'm, up there, right there behind me, whichever way, because this camera is inverted. Fallout 4, I have the Monopoly above my other shoulder. I have a ton of Fallout stuff all over my room. All over my desk is Fallout stuff. So Jeff Garner goes, I don't know whose coffee cup this is. He grabs it from under Chris and slides it towards me. Goes, here, just pour that out in my cup. I'm done drinking my water. Thank you for being a big fan. We hope to see you next year. So at the end of the day, I get this. If you watch QuakeCon, go back to the Fallout 76 recap, not cup. You'll notice at the very end, if it's still rolling, Chris Meyer no longer has a coffee cup. So thank you, Jeff Gardner. That was an amazing gift. Absolutely love it. It's sitting on my desk as memorabilia. But moving forward is the showroom floor, because this is a recap of QuakeCon. So we finally get to the showroom on Friday. We got to go temporarily get some photos of it before it opens. The security was just kind of, oh, hey, they're press. Let them get a few pictures near the esports. So they let Jeremy, our photojournalist, get a few photos, and it was kind of interesting to see what it looked like before everybody flooded the room. It was actually beautiful. It was one of those, you don't expect something to be that nice looking. And it's mostly because there's getting ready to be thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people walking through this room, just going through everything. And that's just how it goes. People were respectful of the stuff, but it was just so busy. It was so busy. We finally get through everything. We hit the Bethesda store, get what we wanted, bought some mugs, some t-shirts, all that kind of stuff to kind of support Bethesda in general, because, let alone our journalists that report about this stuff, we're also fans. So we were there to support and to, be Bethesda fans. So at the end of the day, we did get to go hands-on with Elder Scrolls Blades, which you'll find all the QuakeCon related links down below. And you can go through those, read them. I will be doing another vlog about that this week before Lexicon, since I'll be at Lexicon in Oklahoma, and then probably turning around and going straight to Tulsa Wizard World. And then if everything works out in October, I will be going to TwitchCon and covering TwitchCon. So lots of stuff going on, a lot of growth for us. And we're not Twitch partners, affiliates, but press and having people who are willing to help us do that stuff and help them. So all things beside, QuakeCon was a really different experience than before. We got into a lot of interviews. We got to play Rage 2. We got to interview Magnus Nedfords, who Magnus walked us through a lot about what's going on with Rage 2, which I will be talking about in the next vlog, which will be focused on Doom Eternal, Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Blades, ESO, and other QuakeCon related stuff, since we decided to do a vlog series here on Batgirl to kind of keep you guys and girls in loops. So that is a thing. Moving forward, it was just a really cool experience. Lots of hands-on. The showroom was a lot more spread out this year. We donated to Dallas Pets Alive, as we do every year. Great people. And they had an art gallery, something I'd never seen before. It was just fan art. It was beautiful fan art. It ranged from your standard paintings and sketches to something entirely different. So it wasn't something you just walk in and you see in any show. You don't see this stuff at E3. You don't see it at PAX. You don't see it unless you go to these showroom floors. And it was really cool to see just how much Bethesda's fans, just like us, love what Bethesda does. So it's really interesting to see how Bethesda gives back to their fans. And that's kind of what QuakeCon's all about. It's about the fans. It's not about just their esports or the BYOC. It's about the fans. It's about the studios they work with. So they give a lot of these studios a chance to show off what they're doing. You know, Razer was there. We got to go hands-on with the new Razer Blade, which was an absolutely fantastic piece of hardware. You know, it was running Wolfenstein maxed out, 110 frames, 120 frames consistently. It didn't drop really ever. So it was kind of one of those, it did what it was there to do. And that was to show off what Razer's doing. And, you know, as a streamer, content creator, you already know I'm using a lot of Razer stuff, you know, right here. My boom mic that I am using is Razer. I'm using the Razer Siren X. So you're definitely seeing a uppage in our quality. You know, the camera I'm using is a Razer Kio. So we are doing a lot of Razer stuff. You know, I've got the Razer Krakens on. So, you know, a lot of my equipment of choice is Razer. And it was kind of nice to get to actually see the men and women behind the stuff I'm already using. You know, whether it's an influencer, it's a distributor, or just, you know, somebody within the community that knows really knows the Razer stuff. So we got to meet them. We got to go to Alienware, talk to the Alienware folks, which they were very brief. Same with the MSI. MSI was just kind of, They didn't want to really talk, which was unfortunate. We did want to learn more about their new hardware, their new computers, their new supply line, and they just really didn't have a lot to say. They were just kind of whatever, which kind of disappoints, especially as a fan of MSI and Alienware. But, you know, we decided to keep going along and ran into our friends over at New Blood Interactive. So, you know, we got to congratulate Andrew Holschel for doing the Quake soundtrack for Quake Champions. So, again, congratulations, Andrew. That's a very momentous occasion for you, especially from such a prestigious game. You know, it's amazing to see this guy I've been following through his early career all the way to now just finally hit that spot. You know, he's moving forward, doing a lot more stuff. And so, you know, that's a big thing for him. And to be able to do what he's doing is outstanding. But, you know, moving forward, we did get to play the new Medieval and Dust chapters. You know, Medieval has definitely been upgraded, graphically speaking. So has Dusk. Other news related to this, kind of a sidebar, you may have already read on PC Gamer or something. Dusk and Medieval are coming to the Switch. You'll be able to get your hands on it, I'm assuming, within the next year. I don't have confirmations for Asher yet, who is the owner of New Blood Interactive. So, you know, once he says something, we'll definitely update you in a vlog or one of the live streams that we do. But all things aside, QuakeCon was really eventful. You know, there was a lot to do. There was a lot to see. Not as many vendors this year. You know, we didn't see near as many as we're used to. You know, it's just not that many. But QuakeCon itself is still growing. You know, this is one of the years that it's finally starting to hit its stride again. It happened during a time where not tons of kids are in school. So parents are getting out. They're taking their kids in. They're spending time together. So that is a thing. Then, you know, there was still a lot of stuff. Just, again, not a lot as we're used to seeing. So hopefully something big happens next year, especially with games like Starfield in the works, Doom Eternal hitting its stride, supposedly launching next fall, Rage 2 launching early next year, so we'll probably hear more about that. You know, the new Wolfenstein, the one about the twins, BJ's kids, so, you know, Young Blood, you'll hear more about that next year. We'll probably see more about Cyberpilot, Typhon Hunter for Praise Mooncrash DLC. So just a lot of stuff in the works. You know, Bethesda's got a lot going on. They have a lot of stuff going on with the ESO. We're about to see Wolf Hunter come out. We're about to see Markmeyer. So a lot of stuff regarding that. And Bethesda was just really showcased everything. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go hands-on with Fallout 76, which was kind of a downer, but, it's still in production. It's going in beta in October, so we'll be streaming the beta. We are actually reaching out to Bethesda about giving away Fallout 76 codes for the beta if they have enough to lot. So, if they have the lot, we'll be doing that. It was fun. I had a blast. I was worn out for the days afterward, and it was kind of getting back into the groove, which is what we're still doing. But to the Warframe stuff. So this has been a topic that's been getting bounced around a lot. Douglas Perry has been a great contact over at DE. We've talked to Steve Sinclair through Twitch. He may not recognize who we are since, we talk at Blast Away the Game Review from time to time, or one of us will talk through an alias, or, we'll email, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to say we're done with Warframe. We're not. Christopher Addy, our writer, I know I covered this a little bit before. He's got an illness where it is degenerative. He's losing control of his muscles. He's constantly in pain, that kind of stuff. We don't know if it's MS, if it's fibro, or complications of fibro and MS. But, with him being sick, we've not been able to cover things as much as we were. Not having him help write the scripts, not having him help with the gameplay, just giving feedback as he is now does slow us down incrementally. And so we are working to get back to that stride. And it does bother me that seeing one of my own friends and, colleagues get sick. And, I've known him a while, and I've just seen him slowly over time become the person he wasn't. So, as a team, as the editor-in-chief and the owner of Backer, I've had to make the call of what's best for him, and, slowing down Warframe quite a bit in recent days has been a big one. We do have our Atlas guide in the works. It will be up tomorrow. So right after this uploads, that will be preparing to get uploaded. I still have to do the voice track for it. So, once I do the voice track, it compresses, it'll be live. Talking with him, we're going to completely redo all the original guides, the 1, 2, 3, 4, how to mod, all of that's going to be separate guides. They're not going to be big, expansive guides covering multiple topics. They're going to be single guides, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes each. That'll be very thorough, very in-depth. They're not going to be cookie cutter, this is what it is, and throw you out to the wolves. So it'll be quite a bit different than what you're used to. So I hope you bear with us as we transition from unlisting those old ones to redoing the new ones. So that is a thing. So Warframe is still a thing. So, I'm going to be shooting the email over DE, let them know what's going on, because I have slowed down a lot more than I intend to. We are way behind on that. Moving forward, I've asked, what's our content going to be like? Are we going to be streaming? Are we going to be reviewing? Where's the video reviews? Where's that content? Video reviews are still a thing. We currently have Dead Cells wrapping up its script. It's not going to be the same exact review you saw on the website. The reviews done here on YouTube are completely different. We are going to be doing twice a week vlogs now, Monday and Friday. This is the first one, which is dropping on a Wednesday, which is really weird for us. But, Wednesday, Friday, that'll give me several days to get Fridays ready for you. So we're just going to have a little discussion show once to twice a week. Hopefully twice. I really hope to stick with for twice. If you like this one, next one will have better focus content. So that is a thing. But overall, I want to give a huge shout out to Bethesda ZeniMax for inviting us out to QuakeCon for our 5th year in a row. We had an absolute blast. 4th year, not 5th. Next year will be 5th. So, 4 years going on 5, QuakeCon was an astounding experience. We've been doing coverage of Warframe the same amount of time, 5 years, and it's just gonna get bigger. It's just gonna get bigger moving forward, and I really am enjoyable. Um, we are still gonna be doing our streams. We do have a schedule now. I will not be streaming on Wednesday, Thursday anymore, but I will stream this Wednesday. I'm still trying to get caught up from QuakeCon, so lots of great content on its way. A lot of stuff to really have a reason for you being here and watching what you do. So, I'm not gonna have these super high quality videos like Boogie or stuff like them. I don't have the computer. I don't have the capture card. I'm using a little workstation to even do this. So, not a lot going on. And, I'm doing this in OBS, as you can tell. But moving forward, a lot of content. We'll be streaming on Twitch. We'll be streaming on YouTube. We finally got our Streamlabs working, so we can now do donations through that if you want to help out. We have donations now set up on our website. Our website's getting ready to have some new reviews coming out. YouTube is the same way. We're about to review the hardware that I used to make this. So, you're going to be able to have a review for the Kio camera, the Siren X microphone, which I'm tapping right now, and some stuff I can't really talk about right now. So a lot of stuff in the works. I do want to give a huge shout out to our partners. Iron Monk, thank you. We love your support. Huge shout out to Cody and Matt for making what we do with them possible. They supply us with the beer for beer in a game Friday and Saturday. So that is through Iron Monk, our one of our silent sponsors that we work with, not partners. So that's a big thing. If you have not, go check them out in the link down below. So Iron Monk beer. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here. And I didn't really get to talk about some of the stuff I wanted, but this is running a little over 30 minutes. So check out the recent content. Stay tuned for later tonight. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Then stay tuned for later this week, as we'll have some new content for you, and I will be covering my experience with Lexicon in a blog or a new vlog on Sunday. So I will see you all then. I hope you all tune in, and I'm going to roll a trailer for you all to see, which just happens to be for one of the games we just covered. So see you all Friday.